Greetings, people. This is a continuation video regarding my homeless journey last year that I experienced between the months of June 2023 and August of 2023. I'm currently standing at the intersection of South Main Street and Calle de Alegra Street. And actually this street is right beside the Doña Ana Magistrate Courthouse. Now, the significance about this street is it is a checkpoint where corrupt government and corrupt church leaders use community organized harassers and gang stalkers to stalk and harass people when they are going from one destination to the next. This specific route is the route that I would take when I would leave my storage unit, walking to the hotel rooms that I would be allowed to stay in when my finances were permissible. And there's actually a video in my playlist regarding me preaching, walking down this street as a zombified individual in a silver vehicle stalked and harassed me at this checkpoint right near that tree. So I will post a link to certain videos that relate to this specific video. Stay tuned. Now I am in front of the Doña Ana Magistrate Courthouse, and this specific parking lot right here is what the corrupt law enforcement, aka Demons in Blue, would use to stalk and harass me when they would see me coming and going. And they would follow me all the way down the street to where the car lots were, and as I walked to my storage unit on this route. Okay, people, right here I'm at the intersection of South Main Street and South Valley Drive. And this intersection happens to be the intersection where the most diabolical, satanic, infrastructured EMT ambulances and demonic fire trucks, first responders that are just demon possessed, would constantly stalk and harass me and orchestrate their alarms and just stalk and harass me when I would walk to and from my destinations. Now right ahead here is a Holiday Inn Express and Suite. And in this specific parking lot, the first 3 parking spaces are where most of the community organized harassers and gang stalkers would park when I would be walking to and from the hotels that are right around the corner from it. Now I'm at the corner of South Valley Drive and La Posada Lane, and what I am facing right now is an open field where most of the gang stalkers would park in their SUVs or their vehicles. I actually have a video on my playlist regarding a black truck that was watching my door when I actually was renting a room at the Motel 9. And this is one of the parking areas that they use to watch people's doors at the Super 8 and the Motel 9. Now, the Super 8, I did stay there the first night when I got to Las Cruces, New Mexico. And the room that they gave me, the first room, actually looked like a horror story, okay? There was lipstick on the wall, blood in the chairs. There were cigarette burns in the blanket, as well as dirty sheets on the bed. And I don't know, did I mention lipstick on the walls? In any event, it was so horrific, I requested that I be moved to another room immediately, and so they did just that, okay? Now, the next time I came to this area, I stayed at the Motel 9, which is right across from it. Okay, now, when I left the Super 8, when I first got to Las Cruces, New Mexico, there's also a video in my playlist where I was stalked and harassed by the Las Cruces Blue Demons with badges, okay? They actually were circling this parking lot area when I came out of the Super 8. Okay, now, on more than one occasion, I stayed at the Motel 9, and I noticed that there was a trap door in one of the rooms, the first room that I stayed in, which was very suspect. Also, the police actually ordered a prostitute as well as her pimp to orchestrate a skit as if she was running from him, okay? Not only that, she was a drug addict that came and tried to bum rush my door, literally, okay? I rebuked them strongly and ran them away from my door immediately. Management was contacted. He came up, and quite naturally, he played dumb as a box of rocks, and he was part of the orchestration as well, okay? Also, the police also sent people to run up the steps and knock on my door to run back down the steps, okay? So that is what I dealt with, and that was my experience when I lived, well, not lived, but when I rented a room here, okay? There were times when I rented a room for days at a time, and then the longest I think that I got a room here was like maybe a week. But in any event, that is what I experienced. I also experienced them lying on documentation regarding my hotel stay. They stated that there were 2 guests in my room, and no one other than myself stayed in my room, and I actually stayed to myself the entire time. I was not sexually involved with anybody, nor did I interact with anybody on a social or personal level in any event whatsoever. But there was a smear campaign placed on my name based off of what the police told, the various lies they told in the communities with the corrupt church leaders, as well as with the rest of corrupt government and the rest of my enemies. And so that is what you can expect to experience when you stay in a hotel, when you are actually being persecuted for Christ, as well as when you are targeted by the government because you won't bow down to their nonsense and to the God that they worship, which is Satan. Okay, so yeah, that's what you can expect to deal with. Now, at one point, I even got a room over at the Econo Lodge for one night, and there was suspect behavior there, whereas there was a creepy man, an elderly man, walking back and forth up and down the hallway in front of my door. You know, he looked like Mr. Burns on The Simpsons. Very creepy, just very creepy experiences. So, yeah, those are things you can expect when you stay at a hotel, when you are being persecuted or when you're being targeted. Okay, people, here I am at Apodaca Park today, and it is beautiful out here. I'm just showing you all the park that I used to visit sometimes to stretch out on my sleeping bag when I was homeless, and I used to use my little crochet throw blanket, and I used to sit right here underneath this tree and eat my fruit and drink plenty of water, okay? A lot of people used to come and bring their dogs. There's also a senior living facility across the way, and a lot of those people would bring their lovely dogs and throw the frisbee and just play with their pets, and I would just stretch out and relax here. Also, when I used to come here, I was blessed with the opportunity to be able to rent a teacher's living room from him for 3 days, and the way I paid him was by buying him a box fan as well as buying him some groceries. And so yeah, he lived not too far from here around the time that I was homeless as well. So I was blessed to be able to sleep in his living room on the floor for 3 days once I provided him with a box fan and some groceries. So that was a blessing within itself. I won't say his name because I don't want him stalked and harassed for simply helping me when he did. Here's the bus stop that is right across from the intersection of Solano Drive and Madrid, which is close to Apodaca Park. And here is the Doña Ana Park Apartments, where police used to sit in the driveway and send perpetrators over to this bus shed where I would be sitting up all night long. And they would send sexual predators, and I do have a video of that as well regarding me sitting underneath this bus shed one night with my blade in one hand and pepper spray in the other, as I rebuked and reprimanded one of the sexual predators while the police sat there and watched. They just love trying to get a reaction out of me every time they sent a sexual predator. They would always drive by before some demonic activity took place. So they would always drive by, and then somebody weird would come walking up to me trying to interact with me in some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. And here is the Century 21 motel that I stayed in for a few nights, where the Salvation Army actually gave me a voucher through the day shelter that I was affiliated with at that time to pay for my room, okay? And in this room, it had a motion detector in it, which more than likely had some kind of audio or visual recording device in it. I confronted the management here. He was very nasty, and there is also a video of that. I guess he was assuming that I was going to have some kind of sexual interaction in that room, possibly is what he was thinking. But in any event, once again, this is another hotel room where I did not interact with anyone. I stayed to myself, and I never had any guests whatsoever. So whatever he was looking for, I'm pretty sure he was disappointed. But more than likely, he probably was still recording visual and audio recordings of me going to and from the bathroom or taking a shower or whatever. But anyway, just to show you all this specific hotel hell that I stayed in for a few days. Okay, people, here I am at the intersection of West Griggs Avenue and Water Street, downtown Las Cruces. This is another bus shed that I used to sit up at all night long, and the corrupt government and corrupt church leaders used to send their teenagers to harass me at this specific bus stop right here. So it's right across from Zephyro's Pizzeria downtown. And yeah, this was the bus shed. Also at this bus shed, they used to burn rubber, come by and just try to pollute the air when I would be sitting here all night long, and they would do their high beams and direct energy weapon headlights and things of that nature from this parking lot right here. So yeah, just recording that, documenting that for you all to let you know what they expect. If ever indeed you become homeless due to targeting and persecution, you'll know what to expect.